Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about 10 documentaries to watch on Netflix. Of course this is our list, but let us know your list down below. So let's start with Blackfish. This documentary from 2013 follows a controversial captivity of killer whales and its dangers for both humans and whales. This is the film that turned the tide of public opinion on SeaWorld and convinced Pixar to change the ending of Finding Dory. This documentary follows an orca whale who spent his life in captivity and was involved in deaths of 3 people. Orca whales are natural predators and they're kind of even worse than sharks. As a matter of fact, they actually eat and hunt sharks. And also orca whales have a serial killer vibe to them, throwing their prey and playing with it after killing it. Orca whales are ruthless predators, but they get along with humans just fine. But this documentary explores how the orca whale shouldn't be kept at captivity and used as a show animal. Next one we have is Athlete A. Athlete A is Netflix's original documentary about the US gymnastics team scandal that shook the sports world when it was uncovered in 2017. It focuses on the crimes committed by former team doctor Larry Nassar, who abused the young athletes for years, while it also dives into the work of the journalists trying to uncover this story. It has won the Critics' Choice Documentary Award for the most compelling living subject of a documentary. This documentary shows the classic abusement that can happen in the world of sports, and this documentary is made to show what kind of things can happen behind the scenes. Next one we have is Tiger King: Murder, Mayhem and Madness. Well, if you haven't watched Tiger King, we can definitely say that you missed a big one. This documentary is a great documentary showing a vast amount of characters who own private zoos in America. And the title says it all. You have murder, mayhem, and madness, as the show mainly follows the story of Joe Exotic, a flamboyant and extremely confident owner of a private big cat zoo in Oklahoma. This might be one of the best documentaries that Netflix made in the previous few years. It focuses on the owners of these private zoos, what they do behind the scenes, the secrets that they hide in the closet, as well as overbreeding the animals for their personal gain. Next one we have is The Last Dance. Now, for all of you basketball fans, a documentary we can recommend is The Last Dance. This documentary follows the story of Michael Jordan. Its primary focus is the 97-98 Bulls season. During the episodes, it shows flashbacks of how it came to be. So if you're a fan of basketball, you will definitely enjoy watching The Last Dance, as it shows a man who spent his life by trying to become the greatest of all time. Next one we have is High Score. This 6-episode docu-series, High Score, is a documentary Netflix has made for gamers. This is an in-depth look at the origin story of video games as we know them, as told by the people who made them. It begins with a deep dive into the shift from arcade games to in-home consoles, and chronicles everything from the game-changing arrival of NES to how Sega built a strategy to challenge Nintendo. So if you're looking for a video game history documentary, well, look no further than The High Score. Next documentary we have is American Murder: The Family Next Door. This documentary shows the Watts family murders that uses social media posts, law enforcement recordings, text messages, and home video footage to revisit the events that unfolded. It shows an event in 2018 when a 34-year-old Shannon Watts and her 2 younger daughters disappeared in Colorado. This documentary shows how lies on social media profiles can carry, as well as the toxicity in relationships. Next documentary we have is Don't F with Cats: Hunting an Internet Killer. Now, if you guys really love animals and especially cats, this documentary might not be for you, as this documentary follows a story of a psychopath. It follows a story of a person who shows his killings to the world, especially on YouTube and other social media. But a very brave group of people who saw these videos will try to stop him, forming a group on social media and trying to find who the killer is. Speaking from experience, this show is kind of disturbing. Next documentary we have is Making a Murderer. filmed over a 10-year period. Stephen Avery, while in the midst of exposing corruption and local law enforcement, he finds himself to be a suspect in a new crime. This documentary provides an insight into just how faulty and biased the US judicial system is. This person could be possibly wrongly accused of murder and convicted to 18 years in prison. This has proven to be one of the most compelling true crime stories and one of the most famous to date. Next documentary we have is 13th. This documentary takes an in-depth look at the prison system in the United States and how it reveals the nation's history of racial inequality. This film explores the intersection of race, justice, and mass incarceration in the United States. It is titled after the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution. In this thought-provoking documentary, scholars, activists, and politicians analyze the criminalization of African Americans and the US prison boom. And the last documentary we have today is Blue Planet 2. Narrated by the legendary David Attenborough, Blue Ocean 2 brings us face to face with some of the most unknown parts of our planet. The underwater world is far more versatile and dramatic than it seems at first sight. Some episodes might leave you in a rather somber mood. Due to global warming and overfishing, this hidden, magical underwater world is disappearing at a rapid speed. Because of this, David Attenborough and his team try to shine a light upon this big issue that will happen if we as people don't change. Now, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know down below which out of these documentaries you might watch next. We wish you a wonderful day, and until next time, bye bye.